Happy NBA Draft Day, Mavericks fans. Harrison Graham, Jeffrey Cooperstein with you with the Draft Day edition of Dallas Mavericks today. And Coop, the rumors across the association starting to fly in. Some trades starting to go down. We saw the big one last night with Kristaps Porzingis going to Boston, Marcus Smart to Memphis, Tyus Jones to Washington. But you guys are all here for the latest around the Mavericks. And let's get you guys caught up on Grant Williams here, as Tim Cato of The Athletic reports that one league source granted anonymity since he wasn't authorized to speak publicly. Shocker there.
Love that phrase.
Told me Dallas has spoken with the Celtics about a Grant Williams sign and trade. Dallas isn't interested in using its pick to acquire him, of course, number 10 pick, and the team might decide against an offer, something more than the mid-level exception that would be large enough that Boston wouldn't match. But Williams makes plenty of sense in Dallas, and there may be other ways to complete the deal with Boston's help if Dallas decides to actually pursue it. So a lot to unpack there, Coop, and I think the key one there is, at least in my opinion, unless there's more involved in the trade, there's no way I'm dangling number 10 in a Grant Williams-centric trade.
Yeah, number 10 wouldn't be traded for Grant Williams. I kind of look at Williams in the Maxi Kleber kind of group of players where he can spot start, but he's more of a guy who's better suited coming off the bench in a 3-4 role, probably playing 20 to 24 minutes a game. That's kind of where I see him at. Now, he has played a good role with the Celtics, but he's not a guy that's going to wow you offensively, but he does the little things really well, and the Mavs do need that kind of guy.
Yeah, look, he's a versatile defender. He can knock down a corner three. He's kind of just like a poor man's PJ Tucker, really. Like, that's kind of how I've always viewed him. Now, at this point in his career, he offers a little more scoring punch than PJ Tucker obviously does. But you look at his last 3 seasons, I mean, he's right around a 40% three-point shooter, which you can never have enough shooting. The positional versatility, the ability to spot start if you need him to. I'm intrigued by getting Williams in here, but one, how much does it cost? And two, if it is a sign and trade, what are you having to ship out? Like, is Davis Bertans in a future second? Would that be enough? Maybe. The only reason it might be is because Boston's going to have financial restrictions.
For sure.
After bringing in Kristaps Porzingis and with the Grant Williams restricted, if they take on an expiring salary and a future pick, maybe they would just go ahead and do that.
This is just a pure guess. This isn't based on anything that I know. I don't think Boston has any interest in bringing Williams back. So if he hits the restricted free agent market, I think he will go to another team. Maybe the Mavs just bid for him in restricted free agency and get him for free. But if they want to just jump the line, kind of like they did with DeLon Wright back in 2019, they could just send him a future second-round pick, and then you can negotiate with Williams there. I don't think Williams gets more than, $9 million on the market as well, so it's not like it's going to be a super expensive deal. I don't even know if you have to dump Davis Bertans to go get him.
The taxpayers probably doesn't get it done, because even though he's a bench guy, I mean, like with his versatility, I mean, $9-10 million, the Mavs can pay $7.5 million in the taxpayers. So if they were to bid on him on the open market, they're still going to have to move something around to do so. Now, they've got contracts they can move. Bertans could be moved in a trade, maybe even tonight. Tim Hardaway could be someone that gets moved elsewhere. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I do like the idea of adding a player like this to the second unit, because guys who come off the bench, what do you need them to do? You need them to play defense, and you need them to knock down spot-up threes, and that's two things that Grant Williams can do. And he brings a little bit of an edge to him as well. So what do you guys think? Should Dallas pursue Grant Williams? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. Could be a sign-and trade, could be a free agent target. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out for the Mavs and Williams. Let's get to some news around the association, and maybe it could relate to the Mavericks. Khris Middleton, who of course played his college ball at Texas A&M, he, in a maybe mildly surprising move, has declined his player option, which was, I believe, almost $40 million with the Milwaukee Bucks. So he's going to be a free agent. Now, let's make a couple things clear. He's not going to get $40 million per year on the open market, but he might be thinking, okay, yeah, I was going to make 40 this year, but I might be able to get like 3 for 75 on the open market. So it's kind of more of the long-term security play for him. We'll get back to Middleton in a second, because I'm curious to see what Coop has to say on those thoughts. But we're live tonight for the entirety of the NBA draft. 5 o'clock Central Time for those of you in the Dallas and surrounding area. 6 Eastern, 3 out on the Pacific Coast. 2 hours before the draft starts at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. We'll be live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. And we're going to go live just a few picks before the Mavericks select at number 10 here on Mavericks Today. So if you want to join us on our main channel, then hop over here when the Mavericks are set to pick, we would appreciate that. Join us, youtube.com/chatsportstv, and then again, a few picks before number 10 will be live on Mavericks Today. Okay, Khris Middleton, Coop, coming off a not great year, missed the first huge chunk of the season, was coming off injury. Did have a huge playoff game in that Game 5 that they actually ended up losing, so he kind of showed what he did in that championship season where, he was kind of the Bucks closer in those playoffs. Giannis would kind of carry them to the fourth quarter, and Middleton's kind of their ISO scorer. But these splits here, that's even at 25 a year. If you're paying him that type of money, you got to be thinking he's getting back to being a 20-point scorer at a more efficient clip and that he can stay healthy.
Yeah, you're banking on him being completely healthy and getting back to that form that he was in 2021 when the Bucks won that NBA title.
Or at least close to it, right?
Yeah, and look, I've always thought that Middleton would be the perfect complement for Luka. He's a guy that can play defense. He can be a secondary ball handler on the court. He can also play the three if you need to in kind of a smaller, more versatile lineup. So I love the fit here with the Mavs, but it's just a matter of which Khris Middleton are they getting, number one. Number two, is it going to cost 3 years and $75 million, which I think it might.
If it was one injury-plagued year, I'd be like, okay, there's enough of a resume here. He's not super old or anything like that. I could probably look past that. But since that finals run that they had, he's kind of just not been available. And when he has played, it hasn't been that good. It's been inefficient. I don't know. I'm hesitant here, Coop.
And it will take a sign and trade as well, obviously, because the Mavs wouldn't have that cap space to go get Middleton. So are the Bucks taking on Bertans? Are the Bucks taking on Tim Hardaway Jr.? Who knows? I just don't know.
The only way they're doing that is if they get clear word that Middleton wants out, and they happen to like one or two of these Mavericks pieces, which, I got to think they would want Hardaway over Bertans in that scenario.
For sure.
Because current Hardaway could probably give you not the same type of player, but maybe similar production to what you got from Middleton last year.
He can give you valuable minutes. He can give you valuable minutes where Bertans just can't. So, I think, if it were to happen, it would be some combination of Hardaway, maybe one of the young players in Josh Green or Jaden Hardy to get this deal done.
Would you do Hardaway and Hardy for Middleton at $22 a year?
Probably.
3 for 66, take the chance?
I don't know. That's a risk. It's definitely a risk.
It's going to be interesting. Would you sign and trade for Khris Middleton? Type S for sign, P for pass. I'd probably pass, but, depending on what you're getting rid of and what the financials look like, I could potentially be swayed. Again, subscribe to us here for more coverage throughout the draft and then leading up to free agency as well. We're going to have you covered tonight and moving forward, live coverage for, I think, around probably pick 5 through about. I think we'll stay live at least through pick 15 with all that chatter around the Atlanta Hawks and that selection. Depending on how it goes, we could stay live for the rest of the first round. We'll see. That's up to you guys. Join us tonight, and we will have you guys covered. All right, Coop, let's get back to draft-specific stuff here. Catch us up on the latest around the Mavs and potentially what the draft could look like tonight, as we're just a mere several hours away here. Yeah,
a report came out this morning that the Mavs and Raptors have had preliminary talks surrounding the number 10 pick, so that just adds another team to the known teams we know that the Mavs have been talking with. So the Hawks obviously are the big team that the Mavs have been speaking with. They want Clint Capella. John Collins has been dangled as well, also that number 15 pick. The Houston Rockets have been rumored to move up from their number 20 selection. They've been rumored to move up as far as 10 with the Mavericks, maybe at 18 with the Heat. So these three teams are kind of the teams I'm looking at that the Mavs might be doing business with tonight. And I think I could see a deal happening with one of these three.
Would you trade 10 for 20 in the Rockets next year first? I might do it, because that pick's going to suck again.
Yeah, I think I might. You're getting another lottery pick in that.
It doesn't help you a ton this year, but
you can still find a decent player at 20, I think. But if you're getting a lottery pick next year as well, it might be worth the risk.
From the Rockets, too. At worst, that's going to be top 10. I got to think.
Yeah, for sure. And there's also this report that the Mavericks are interested in Cam Whitmore, according to our boy Flip Flop Fischer. He says if Whitmore's available at 10, the Mavs would take and keep him.
Look, I will say this, whether I buy the report or not, if Whitmore's there at 10, he's on the short list of players. If there's not a trade that helps you at least at a decent clip this year. Like, Whitmore's a guy that I think can develop. I think he could actually play right away in an NBA rotation, 3 and D. 34% isn't great, but that Nova team had some flaws this year. I think he could come in and shoot mid-30s as a rookie. Coming off the bench, we know he's got defensive assets to his game as well. Like, if Taylor Hendricks, and maybe one or two other guys that I like are sitting there, like, that at least makes me think about picking that player and keeping him, Coop, because at some point, like, yes, we get it. Like, you want to win right now, and Luka, the clock is, conceivably ticking this and that. But on the flip side, Coop, this, in theory, as long as Luka's here, is going to be the highest draft pick you're going to have for a while. So if there's a player you love at 10, it's at least a conversation, or needs to be a conversation if you are the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, there's definitely the balance of between trying to win now and still trying to set yourself up well for the future. And if the Mavs have a player that they like at 10, they'll definitely have to consider keeping that guy. I know Nico Harrison and Mark Cuban have talked through all the scenarios at this point. My guess is right now, if I had to lean, it's probably 70-30. They're still going to trade it. But like I said, if that guy, like a Whitmore, like a Taylor Hendricks, God forbid if Anthony Black falls to 10, I think the Mavs would be interested in keeping him. So all those scenarios are on the table. I like Whitmore. I'm kind of concerned about the reports coming out that he didn't work out well with these teams leading up to the draft, and that's kind of why he's fallen to around the number 10 range. So it'll be interesting to see if he's there at 10, what the Mavs end up doing.
So what do you guys think? What do you think the Mavs should do with that number 10 pick? Type T for trade it or K for keep it. We kind of just went through a lot of the scenarios and rumors that are circulating right now. There's certainly pros and cons to both options. All right, Coop, any final thoughts or predictions for tonight? Barring breaking news, we'll see you guys live here in a few hours. Coop.
Big day for the franchise. Got to get this one right, whether it's drafting the right guy or making the right trade. It's just something that they have to get right in order for the future of this franchise.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. All right, Coop, I'm Harrison Graham. We will see you guys soon. MFFLs, we're signing off.